Hey everybody, welcome to Current Energy's November 2022. Thank you for listening. I wasn't here last month. I actually injured myself, and so yeah, I had to take it easy and back off, but we're feeling better and coming back. Which actually kind of leads me into the eclipse energy. So we literally were smashed in between two very massive eclipses. And from what I saw and clients calling me, there were certain themes that were going. And one of those themes was finding your way. The second one was you're finding your way, but the rug got pulled out underneath you to have you find your way. And so it seemed to be kind of like a mix of that. So I noticed a lot of people had a lot of sleep issues during the eclipse energies, and that's totally normal. I mean, we have energies shifting left and right all the time anyway. On a spiritual level, we're getting downloads, uploads, and, you know, a lot of people are calling these ascension symptoms because we are changing. I mean, the earth is literally shifting into different frequency, vibration, dimension. And if we want to go with it, we have to shift too. So we get these energetic downloads, and they can hurt. Like, they can physically hurt you. They can hit you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes all of it. So it's a painful process, but what's at the end is liberation from this sick, twisted third dimension that we live in and getting on to something bigger and better. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about like ascensional stuff and how everybody's saying, oh, you know, jumping from 3D to 5D. I don't feel that's how it works. This is what I feel about that whole concept is, to me, the fourth dimension is about mastering energy and your perception. It's your mind. It's shifting yourself, knowing that you have more power than you think you do. Because when you learn to manipulate energy, there's nothing you can't do. So, yeah. But the good thing is when you're working with that type of frequency of energy, it's usually always for good. So that's a good thing. So frequencies, they literally take you somewhere. And that's why we want to tap into higher frequencies, because they pull us into a higher frequency, which means higher frequency people are all around you, and everything is just higher frequency, which means easier, things manifest rapidly. You're at peace with yourself. You're doing all the right things. You're happy about life, and you're not suffering, you know, from lack of groceries, money, whatever. So, because that's one thing that's happening is a lot of people, when they're starting to actually change their vibration and their perceptions, they're quitting corporate jobs and they're selling everything they own, and they're literally like buying a little ranch and growing their own food and all of that stuff. So, but ultimately that's who they were on a soul level. So a lot of people, that's what they're doing, is they're going to their soul level. And like I said, with the downloads and uploads, it's painful, but has to be if we want to go with that earth, because she's already splitting. So it's kind of like the changing of the guard. We are exactly in the middle of it. So around March in 23, I know that's a ways away, but that's when astrologically things are going to really take quite a upshift. But until then, we just gotta learn to maneuver the energies and ace the energies so that when March does hit, we can slide with those energies that are coming in and really actually get somewhere with wherever it is you want to go. So, and whatever it is you want to do, that's up to you. I always believe if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So, because if you couldn't, you wouldn't be able to even dream it, right? So, okay, so let's kind of get in with some current energies. As you know, you've all suffered through the eclipse. For some of you, it was positive. There was many positive aspects to it. It seemed like it kind of really didn't affect time. But then again, I'm sure a lot of you are noticing that we're kind of not dealing with time anymore. I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like I'm existing during the day. And it's not like, oh, it's 1 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. It's just like, just kind of been going by the vibrations during the day. And so it just seems like there's less and less time. So if you guys are feeling that, I do believe that's part of, us shifting up, thank God. So one thing my guides did tell me is during all of this, make sure you do a lot of grounding work. So I know most of you know what that is, but if you don't, get your bare feet into an ocean, into grass, ground, Mother Earth. So, and do it with your bare feet. Don't go out there and do it with like your tennies, because they have a rubber sole and that blocks the energy from coming up into your body from the earth and your energy going into the earth. So, yeah. That's why I'm literally going to go out and get a pair of moccasins and take the sole out and just use the moccasins. So when I run around, I'm just going to be grounding all the time. So, and I can do that, a lot easier than I could have back home, because I'm in Florida now. And so it's like flip-flops, moccasin, perfect weather. So, today we've got Hurricane Nicole coming through or whatever. So here we go again. Anyways, let's see. What else did I want to... I've covered a lot. One thing, too, is if you feel like you're kind of losing your mind, you're actually on track. So if you walk into the kitchen and go, why in the hell did I walk in here? And it takes you a while to come up with, oh, yeah. That's part of the ascensional symptoms, too. It's altering everything, and that includes your brain. So don't beat yourself up. That a lot of people are going through that. Even I'm going through that. So also, too, guides were saying perception. That's pretty much what they really wanted me to cover this month, is your perception of life, your life itself, everything you see is exactly your perception. So if you perceive it as good, high vibe, that's what you're going to attract. But if you see it as this dark, scary world, then it's going to be very closed off for you, and you're not going to get out there. So it's really about having no fear. And if you find that something that's beneficial to you, you're resisting it, you're supposed to dig deep down and figure out, one, what is your resistance and why are you resisting a better life? So that's something that they really wanted me to make sure you guys got into your heads. Perception is everything. It's everything. So like we can look at it as, oh, I can physically see the earth dying because the matrix is cracking, right? Or I can start looking and seeing the new come in. Does that make sense? So that's what we'd want to do, is just go, okay, we've already seen, what's dying off. It's time to see what's birthing in. So yeah, that's exactly it. We're like a baby. We're in the birth canal. No freedom from being birthed yet. So that's where we are. It's a totally uncomfortable space, but as we know, what comes out at the end is life, and it's new life. And that's what this is all about. creating new life. You have that possibility. But A, do you believe it? And B, are you willing to do the energetic work? Because I don't care what anybody says, it's work. Even energetically. Like when I'm doing readings and stuff, people think that like I just already know all this stuff and I'm just blowing out information. But in my head and in my energetic field, there's so much more going on. I'm working. So, yeah. It'd be nice if it was that easy, but down the road it will be for everybody. So if you notice yourself getting more intuitive, that's a sign that you're growing in your frequency and you're going up. You're going up. So pay attention to those intuitive channels. You know, you got your gut, you got your heart, right? You got your third eye. Pay attention to all those channels. Because the people that are ready to rock and roll and move forward, those things are turning on, or they're getting higher in frequency for them. So they're becoming more intuitive, or they're finally going to their calling. So if like a energy healer was truly their calling, they'd be, starting to get shoved in that direction. So that's what's happening. A lot of healers, a lot of psychics, energy workers, they're starting to crawl out because it's time. It's time for them to get out and start helping people with their energies and stuff. So if you feel that calling, pay attention to it. There's a reason why. Let's see. We did perception. Gosh, I think I pretty much covered it all. Let me look at some notes I wrote here. And oh, okay. Last piece of it. So one thing that my guides also told me too was that the universe is really watching people right now. And they're looking for the people that are stepping forward and stepping up. Like if you see a stray dog on the side of the road, you don't just let it die there. You stop and you help it, or you help a person, or you help a friend, or even if it makes you go out of your way, you do it anyway, just for the greater good. That's something that they're looking for in individuals. So if you're not hooked into that energy, there's like this really special energy that's going to pass you by. And I wouldn't want to miss that one for the world. So start opening up and fall in love with love. That's what we need to do. So, but still be able to kick some ass. All right, guys, that's it for November of 22. I promise I will be back in December. But stay strong. You can do this. You got this. I know a lot of you suffered some endings. But remember, endings are beginnings. So you can choose to look at this as if this is an adventure or if this is a nightmare. It's literally up to you. So, all right, guys, remember, it's all up to you. Keep your energy high. Ground yourselves. And I'll be talking to you here in a couple of weeks. Take care.